Cheese. Art by Hollis, Parrott. Story by Hargreaves. It had been 2 days since I left the safety of our group to scrounge for food. The barren place we had been born into yielded no crops, and the fickle sun, often obscured, plunged us into darkness for long stretches. It had been 2 days when I came across it, just laying in the waste. I first thought it to be a mirage. Those are a thing, right? But then, why wouldn't my dehydrated mind dream up something more grand? A feast of poultry? And wine, perhaps? Why would it think to conjure up only a meager wedge of cheese? Survival took over, and I rushed forward, starved, and so thankful in that moment for any food. It only took an instant. 2 simple steps. 2 steps where the ground softened, like a thick mud after a season of rain. 2 steps into what appeared to be a strange sap that grabbed at my feet and held tight. 2 steps. What have I done? Tugging proved useless. The more I pulled, the more I smelled the toxic, unnatural odor releasing from the ground. And as much as I pulled, it didn't budge to let me free. I looked around frantically. Would anyone venture out here and find me? Help me free myself? I called out for help and yelled myself hoarse. I cried out as I forced myself not to weep. Don't kid yourself. You know they won't hear you. If I could just loosen the sap around my feet, I might be able to get free. I reached down, but almost as quick as the thought itself, I felt the sap tightening around my fingers. I quickly, desperately pulled up before it could ensnare them as it had my feet. But it was quick. I pulled frantically, slowly feeling the skin peeling away from the tips of my fingers as it released the rest of my hands back to me. I held them against my coat, watching the blood blot outward against it as I began to cry. You stupid fuck. You coward. You can't even say it, can you? Admit it to yourself. Someone is bound to find me. Someone will come looking. The others will grow too hungry to wait for me to come back, and they'll find me. You'll see, it will be okay. It has to be, right? You were supposed to bring the food back. What will your daughters eat if you can't bring them food? Will they starve? Will they come this far out of the shelters? What if they don't see the sap? Please, let them be okay. Who are you talking to? Do you think talking to yourself will keep at bay the clawing truth of your situation? It won't. You're going to die. Not one day, not in the we're all dying way we casually jest about to each other. You're dying here. You're dying now. Surely there must be something after death. I'd never believed that, but this seemed like as good a time as any to start. God, if I can just see my children again, just stop. I needed to think, to breathe. I needed to get out of this somehow. I continued to pull frantically at my leg, but my fingers were raw, and even the air coming off the sap burned and corroded my flesh. What does nothing feel like? At least I wouldn't have to smell this suffocating odor anymore. Would it be more merciful if it happened to me quickly? Could I end? I can't. I want to live. I don't want to die. Why was it me who had to go out here? Why hadn't any of the others volunteered? It could have been them, not me, trapped here and dying. I would have lived if they had gone. I could be with my family now instead of... Don't think that. That's not you. You wanted to help them. But I am thinking it. Maybe I am cruel. Maybe I deserve this. No, this is stupid. I just need to pull my feet out and I'll be on my way, and I can forget this happened. It will be funny later when I talk about how scared I got over nothing. Pushing the terror down, or maybe using it as a source of strength, I pulled with all my might until I actually feel the sap start to give. Oh shit, okay, that's it. It's coming free. My foot's slowly releasing. With an airy squishing sound, the sap gives suddenly, but the force topples me backwards. I feel the sap now as it tangles itself into my hair, down my neck, and across the back of my blood-stained coat. Inches from my black-crusted fingers, I can almost touch the cheese. Oh, we caught one? Is it dead? I think so. No, wait. I can see it following me with its little eyes, the filthy thing. You really shouldn't use those. I keep reading they're terribly cruel. What do I care? As long as I get them all out of this house. Well, I can't look at it. Chuck it in the bin and be done with it. Fuck. The damn thing ripped off its own leg trying to get out. Jesus! Just throw it away. It's dark now. I smell recycled plastic and styrofoam, and the awful sweet smell of rotting fruit, and still the persistent chemical stench of the sap. Maybe I was wrong. I stop hoping for relief and begin pleading for the peace of nothing. But I now know the suffering stillness will stretch me into eternity.